Hello, I'm Wade Henderson. Join me now for conversations with our neighbors who create visual art. This is Delta Hands. In this edition, the benefit of taking the matter in your own hands and starting over. Painting that feels the horizon. And inspiration found on the farm and from foreign travel. Mark Carroll's clay is a connection with larger themes in living.
And there's no rules. We kind of invent the rules as we go along. From the time you sketch it on paper to the time you pull it out of a kill, it's usually not even, well, it's somewhat close to the original idea. And the idea, sometimes I get off track, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's not, the stuff I'm doing is not written in stone. I can change it as through the process. From the time it gets to the paper to the time I throw it, I alter it, the way I glaze it, the way I fire it. There's so many variables that, and I like that. It's almost like Christmas. You don't know what you're going to get. I try not to get too attached to the pieces I make, due to the fact there's a high mortality rate of things blowing up, and the way the glazes are coming out of the kill. You think the glaze is going to be one way, and you pull it out of the kill and you look at it and you go, man, what? This isn't what it's supposed to look like. And there's so many different variables in raku, and I like that. I like that a lot. I don't want things to be perfect. I don't want the glaze, to be perfect. And everybody goes, well, Mark, why do you have a perfectly good vessel there, why do you alter it? And I said, if you want something that's perfectly round, go to the department store and buy it. If you want perfection, go buy something made in China. If you want something that's a little more personal, that's a little off-center, that's a little uneven, yeah, then that's mine. It's handmade. I like the surprise of, you don't know what's going to happen. I think that's probably why I like raku so much. You don't know what you're going to end up with. It's a surprise. You have kind of an idea what it may look like, but it may be a lot better than you thought, or it could be a lot worse than you thought. I guess it's kind of like life. I like texture. I like I like touch. I like the physical contact. I think that's why I like clay so much. It's real. It's right there. You can feel it. I can add texture and touch and feel it. That's why I don't like to make things that are smooth, because there is no texture. And stuff that one buys in a commercial outlet. You can't go to the department store and buy something like this. They're going to go, some people come up and say, ooh, why is it different colors? Or why isn't it perfectly round? Why is there holes here? That's why I call it somewhat dysfunctional. It's still usable. My vessels, you can still use them for something. My coffee mugs, you can still drink coffee. They still hold water. They just have texture. They're a little beat up. But they work. They look dysfunctional on the outside, but inside, they're very functional. My crosses aren't perfect. They're not. There is some irregularity in the shapes. There is texture. There's stones in the crosses. There again, those are raku'd, and when they come out of the kill, I don't know what I'm going to get. I want people to display my artwork, or use my work. I mean, I hope it's displayed on a wall where people will look at it and take notice of it. And I want people to come up and touch the stuff and feel it, and feel the clay. Clay is not cold. I'm trying to make it have a sense of warmth to my work. I don't want my cross to be visual or sensory overload. They're very simple. A cross is a very simple form. And I'm taking that simple form, and maybe I'm letting the glazes dictate how complicated they are, or how simple they are. It's almost by chance is what I'm probably doing. The hearts evolved, I guess, about a year ago. And I was just doing rolling out slabs of clay and cutting them like in a physical, trying to make everything perfect for a heart. And they never came out perfect, and they were flat. And I'm going, well, why am I doing flat? And clay is a three-dimensional medium, and my work and the hearts were flat. So then I started looking at stuff, and I'm taking my hands in these slabs of clay and pressing my fingers through the clay. And next thing I know, I'm not ripping the heart out, but there's a big rip in the heart. And I'm looking at that, and I go, huh. And I started thinking, what about if I sew that heart back up? Or sew that tear back up, almost like a healing heart, healing the wound. And I think healing the wound, it's almost like closure. I'm taking these hearts and wrapping them with stainless steel wire, kind of lacing them up like suture, I guess. Some of these ideas I have in my head, and their finish is like, man, what was I thinking about? Because it was a disaster. It just didn't work. Good thing about clay is you can throw stuff on the wheel, on a slab roller or something, or make something on the slab. And if you don't like it, you can always crumple it back up and recycle the clay, as long as you don't fire it. So you can't make mistakes, and you can't make too many mistakes in clay.
Coming up on Delta Hands, Mystic Epiphanies over Rice.